right? This is a word that black people have been using since the 30s, right? This is it's our word. We defined it, right?
Yes.
We use it. We talked about what it means to us. And so this is white people again.
Can you concisely define woke?
Anything that's pro-black, anything that helps gay people, anything that means just be a decent human being.
I was trying.
I think I can.
Go ahead.
From my understanding, wokeness is just being aware of what's happening and what is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I would even take it a step further. Like, as a black person, you're just vigilant of your surroundings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's really what it is.
It is.
Yes, it's to be awoke. It's like you said, to be aware.
That sounds very liberal.
Sounds very liberal.
to have consciousness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again,
Literally.
Yeah.
And it's slang that we've been using since the 30s. Like that's ours. But this is what white supremacists do. Remember during all the 2020 protests? It's like we make something and then you take it
Absolutely.
and try to make it seem like something else. Miracle?
We have to gatekeep more. And I know y'all think I'm a bigot, but
Yes.
I think this is why we have to gatekeep. Because you allow people into the cookouts and the barbecues. They took the words.
Bring
they
it all
didn't
their
know what it
children.
means.
6 children eating up all the potato salad.
Right, with
Probably after they put raisins in that shit.
raisins and meatballs and all type of stuff. And then they bastardized it. And so here we are defending using a term that has always meant solidarity and a greeting amongst black people. And there have been all types of theories, whether it was telling people to be conscious or telling black soldiers to be, on alert because other white soldiers were killing them, or telling people to be on alert because the Klan was coming. There's so many different theories about how this term came to be, but it's been very clear that stay woke was something black.
Right.
Yes.
And then we allow people say, oh, it's just social media talk. Oh, it's just AAV lingo. And now here we are literally losing our right to educate our children, the right to freely associate an organization, the right to address past harms. We're losing the right to be in an organization that can develop us, educate us, and empower us, all because of a term. And it's ridiculous.
Did you all want to hear Bethany, after her internet humiliation, she went on Twitter to define woke. Do y'all want to hear what she has to say?
I absolutely do.
A radical belief system. I almost need some ominous music behind me. A radical belief system suggesting that our institutions are built around discrimination. Suggesting?
I mean, wow.
Little things called facts, right? I mean,
do you Googles?
Only white men could vote up until 1960, Bethany. What are we?
Yeah.
And claiming that all disparity is a result of discrimination. What else would it be a result of, Bethany? It seeks a radical redefinition of a society in which equality of group result is the endpoint.
So equality
of group result
is such a bad thing.
Enforced by an angry mom.
You see that tweet that was the problem is we're all together. In high school, you had the smart kids, the gifted kids.
I didn't see that.
And I think this is where we are. Not to be an elitist.
Yes.
But when we talk about terms like
you were in the advanced programs, yeah?
When we talk about woke and white genocide, and we talk about different theories, you have to have a minimal educational background to understand what people are talking about. When we talk about critical race theory, it is a theory. It's not a law. It can be rebutted. It can be argued against. It is something that people come up with to explain a phenomena or an occurrence.
Yeah.
It was not meant for random people to just be discussing.
Right.
Queer theory, social theory, systems theory. It's literally people studying society and saying, I think people are acting like this because of X, Y, and Z. And then you use a scientific method. It wasn't for Joe Schmo on Twitter to basically use that to get in an argument. It wasn't for people running for office to talk about why certain books are good or bad. And I think this is going to sound really bad.
Say it.
But a lot of people are just too stupid to have these conversations.
Yes, that's not bad. That's accurate.
Yes, that's accurate.
That's 1,000. That's what we've been saying the whole time.
And it's not that like people don't have to go to college. It's that people have to sit there and understand why something is happening. And for Derek Bell, who was the father of critical race theory, he was practicing law in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Right after all the Civil Rights Act was happening, and literally teachers were spitting on black students and telling them, if you apply to law school, we'll get you expelled from this university.
Yes.
They were dealing with lawyers refusing to sign off on petitions to admit other black people to the bar. They were dealing with the Supreme Court saying, yeah, we passed the Civil Rights Act, but really, if you're a private institution, you don't have to follow it. And so he was like, why, if we did all of this work to pass all these laws, are people not upholding these laws? What theory could explain this? And he put critical race theory out as a reason to explain what the practice of law was doing.
Yeah.
It was not to be like, oh my God, we need to just define wokeism in 2023. And that is the problem. And it's not that people are dumb, but it's just that people are not taking the time to take a step back and just be like, why am I so afraid of equality? What do I think it actually means? Because if you look, since gay marriage, nothing has changed. People were fighting about, it's going to end, church is going to end.
Yes.
More people just got miserable because they got tied to each other. Like nothing really, nothing changes. And I think we really have to have a conversation that equality is just people getting to exist and not be stressed out and not be murdered.
It's like
we don't actually think they're real.
You could not define something that you went on there to say you're an expert about, and now you're the victim? And it's like, but then here I am just wanting like a law to treat me fairly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the radical, right?
Yeah, so I was going to say that this might be an issue with literacy, but I think they understand these terms and they understand what they're doing, especially when you take into account what she named her book.
Yes.
It's like they're actively trying to rewrite and restructure history and the definitions of terms that have helped us to advance. They're just like, nah, fuck your advancement.
100%.
We're going to take this, we're going to co-op it, and we're just going to change it to benefit our agenda even further.
Listen, she says, I wouldn't have planned this experience, but it was a valuable one for my older children. They saw their mother fail, and they saw her get back on the horse. They saw their mother humiliated.
Was it a pale horse?
The fact that she gets to write this up
was it the horse that she got back on?
Magazine is wild. Oh my God.
Something horse-ish.
They saw their mother humiliated, but also saw my confidence remain. Like, you humiliated yourself. Like, nobody set you up.
Yeah, like, it's like you're promoting your book that you wrote. Like, you opted to go on a press tour to talk about your book
that you wrote, and they asked you a simple question
about your book.
Define what does woke mean to you, and you couldn't answer it.
And it's in your book.
And now they're saying you really woke is undefined. I want to shout out all the orgs, of these suburban moms who are embarrassed by people like Bethany.
Absolutely.
Who are like fighting back and who are saying, I'm over this BS.
Yes.
And are putting a fight and taking it back to school boards.
Absolutely.
And I mean, like, this stop it. This is not a winnable strategy.
And
we like this week I got to go outside and protest.
Yes.
Because y'all want to have bigots coming to campus. Like,
True.
This is not a winning strategy. Go back and rethink it.
Absolutely. And shout out to the students that are organizing at their schools, making sure that there is, actual real American history. I mean, this is the thing. You don't want us to learn real American, and you see why. Oh, this is why you don't want us to learn our actual history, because our actual history says that, yes, these institutions were built on discrimination. If they were only built for white men, then they were built on discrimination. That's not something we made up. That's a fact that they were built by actual slave owners.
Look who the names are on the buildings that you have classrooms in. Look who the names, you know what I mean? Like, it's there for you.